Avast and ye welcome to this, the Sirens and Silver game. I be Michael, the Dead Aussie Gamer, and I be your GM for this high seas tale. And joining me today is a crew of the scalliest of wags that I have ever had the misfortune to have over me table. First of all, we have none other than Mr. Robert Hartley, GM. Hello, sir.
Yar, it'd be great to be here.
Tell us who you be playing. And what misfortunes they seem to cross across their sails.
Well, today I will be playing Falk, otherwise known as Captain Razorbeak, a Ravenfolk warlock, who happens to be captain of this here ship. And the rest is to be found out as we go.
Very well, and I cannot wait myself to see what exactly Captain Razorbeak has in store for.
I was hoping to have a pirate hat by today, but I don't have any newspaper to make an origami hat out of, so it'll have to be next time.
Well, you know what they say about excuses? They're like mainsails. Every ship's got one, but you don't need to brag about it. Now, next up, of course, every good captain needs a good crew, and a good crew needs a good ship, and keeping this ship in ship shape is none other than Alistane, being played by our dear friend, the Grey Gentleman, Patrick. Avast, yes. Patrick.
Hi, hello there. I am Patrick, that Grey Gentleman, and I am playing Alistane, bosun to this good ship. And I am not dressed as a pirate because it is 3 a.m.
That's perfectly fine. I am trying to at least get through the intros with this. I can't promise anything, but
you've definitely gone Irish.
All right, listen here now.
Now we're leprechauns.
Everything goes Irish, and I don't know why. Everything just starts in Ireland.
Diddly-dee. Why don't you give me your treasure? If you give me your treasure, I'll give you my pot of gold. It's a good trade.
Thank you, Rob. Hi, Janet.
Hi!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, allow me to introduce to you one of the most talented world builders I have ever had the pleasure of meeting. Not just because they are a creative art, avant-garde creator, but also because one of the most knowledgeable person about real-world history, architecture, and all things awesome and cultural. We have, of course, the beautiful and delightful Janet. I know, I'm sucking up. And you know what? And you're just saying, I love Janet. This is what happens. I got these guys, and then Janet.
Thanks. Well deserved.
We can clearly see that because.
Look, I'm not your parents, okay? There are clear favorites, okay? Well. That's how this channel works. Janet, how are you?
I am good. I'm very excited to be playing Swift Kennelly, who is a rabbit folk cook, and I would say navigator. Bunny is obviously
We're still finding your appropriate role on the ship.
Yeah.
I thought you could use this one.
Yes, I did look useful, didn't I, from the outside? I think in the last episode, I spent most of my time breaking the ship and then being terrified of Alistane.
And swinging from the rigging.
And swinging from the rigging, of course. Very, very important pirate activities here. Breaking things and swinging from the rigging. So, I'm very hyped today to be here to get into Swift's ridiculously laconic character and have some fun.
Very nice, very nice. And of course, sending forth their apologies is none other than our friend, the dreaded GM, who is unfortunately unable to join us today. But Azalas, his Yonti character, is none other than the ship's sword at hand and master at arms. As you can see, I've done a little bit of a terrifying frozen in time picture for him. So there he is. He's frozen. This is how it is. And this is what's going to happen to all of you if you cross me at any point. Cross me, you get put in the box. Yeah. That's how this works.
We get the Han Solo treatment.
Yeah,
fully paralyzed.
Just that. Just for like 2 episodes.
Exactly.
I'm a warlock.
We still have to be here. We just can't move from this
we get frozen into a fridge shape. That's it. That's what we've got. I fixed my arms, by the way. They should stop disappearing now.
I feel like I did that to someone at some point. I did in one of my Minion Quest things. In one of the season's finales, I turned someone to stone, and we got them to turn to stone on camera.
Oh, goodness.
It was a whole thing. It was an ordeal, but we did it. Anyway, I digress. Enough bragging and things. We are here to play some piratey games. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for those of you who have not seen or been here before, my name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer, and we run an interactive live D&D role-playing game where you guys get to influence the course of the game. During the course of the game, you may influence the game in a number of ways through either channel points to afford rerolls, plot twists, creating NPCs, creating monsters, or giving our group magic items and the like. You can do that with the channel points. Or if you want to support the channel and help us feed these lovely starving artists, you can, of course, donate to the stream. For $5, you can give someone a hero point, which will allow them to do weird, wacky, and wonderful stuff, as well as stave off the Grim Reaper. For $10, you can grant Wheel or Woe, which turns a situation very swiftly towards or against the player's favor. For $20, you can give someone a nat 20, because why not? Have a nat 20. And for $50, you can grant someone a magic item of your choice, boost an encounter, or you can create an NPC that'll be made in Hero Forge and thrown into the game. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And, of course, thank you to everyone who made me the Hype Train. Level 3 Hype Train. Thank you. And because of the Hype Train, and, of course, there now being 3 players, each of you will begin play with an inspiration. Yay!
Hey.
Thank you to our audience for the 2,400 bits and 7 subs. You've already helped out. All right. So, we find ourselves back upon the high seas of Alestria, in the dread reaches, aboard a vessel known as what do we call it? The Sirens Edge.
That's what you call it.
That's what I called it. What'd you call it?
I call it Razor's Edge.
Razor's Edge.
But it isn't caught on. That's not what's written on the side.
That's not what's written on the side. All right.
I call it matchsticks because that's what it's going to end up as.
There we go. Razor's Edge. Done.
No, but it's sort of an ongoing thing that none of us know what it's called.
You can see that there's like lots of little slats where they've just X'd it out and just.
It was originally the Sirens foil, I think, and then foil was crossed out for something else, and I just call it Razor's Edge. Folly, something
Sirens
like that.
Folly or something. Yeah. All right. Well, the Razor's
Just imagine like 18 names down the side of this ship, and all of them are crossed out, and they've got like votes next to them and stuff.
I actually love that. I love the fact that there are several names on the ship, and they've all got tally marks next to them. It's just odd. Several of the tally marks have been crossed out and rewritten.
Every time we like every time we take over another merchant ship or something, right before we leave, we're like, by the way, what were you all screaming when you saw us coming? We were like, oh my god, it's the Razors, and they were like, oh, we were saying, oh my god, it's Sirens Folly. And, oh shit. And we have to put a little tag next to Folly.
Yeah,
okay,
it's like
another Folly. We're keeping a track of our reputation, how it's spreading,
exactly.
which names are taking.
It's literally like that moment where like, you know, everyone's like from like the Power Rangers, they're in poses and everything, and then they're all saying different names. All right, we have already some donations before I've even gotten to the recap. Noria Rick has given a hero point for each player. So everyone is going to be the now proud owner of a bright and shiny hero point. There we go.
So shiny.
So we get a hero point and an inspiration?
Yes, correct. So unlike inspiration, I'm gonna find a better place to put these on my layout there. There we go.
I love this extra little yellow tag that's still left on each of them.
God damn it.
It worked.
And I love that you like copy pasted them before removing the yellow tag, so you have to remove it from all 4 of them individually.
You truly are a pirate captain, because you have to inflict pain, don't you?
Oh yes.
Show him who's in command.
So, we begin our journey back in the Dread Sea, along the Dread Reaches, which of course is where we find our ship, the Razor's Edge. As they have begun their hunt for a worthwhile bit of prey along the merchant lines, they have come upon a small vessel, a spice-carrying ship that bears the mark of the Merchant Guild. Well, after a hasty chase, the group managed to bring the ship to bear, but found out it was an ambush from none other than a infamous group of basically warlord, tyrants, however you want to call it. This is the Telvari militia. No, Telvari Navy. That's what I was going to call it. The Tavari Navy set up an ambush and began their assault upon their ship. But thankfully, Captain Razorbeak and his crew are formidable enough that they managed to reduce them to a quivering mass, defeating all of them and relinquishing the ship to their command. Now, as our heroes have boarded their new vessel, they have found not a great deal of treasure, but a strange figure manacled in the lower decks. This character looks like this. An aged rat person by the name of Doc Snapper, whom Alistane is familiar with from ancient lore and history. This infamous pirate was once the first mate of the dread pirate Dren Goldfist, the notorious ghost pirate that still to this day haunts the seas and fills even the most stalwart pirates with fear and terror. Now, it is here that we commence our session. Captain, you, Alistane, Swift, are all here below deck, while Azalis maintains course upon the Razor's Edge, holding position and ensuring that the Macaw, your somewhat velociraptor-ish crew, doesn't get out of hand.
Now, the circumstances of capturing a ship like this, often we would take the goods of a ship and let them actually go. But now that we actually have a ship, what sort of thing would we normally do with that? Sink it or take it to the pirate port to scrub of its VIN number?
You are fairly close to Rough End, a small pirate dock at the southern reaches of the Kingdom of Trist. Rather than, selling it or re-scouring it, quibbing it, that's it. Rather than quibbing the vessel, you will likely just sell it to be quibbed, which you get at like a tenth of the price if you'd done it yourself. But it's much easier than trying to,
less eyes on us during the process of it.
Exactly.
Get it out of our hands.
Yeah. You do know that there is a pirate by the name of Crookshank that you have made acquaintance with in Rough End, and he is kind of like your black markets dealer.
So we're not that far. Like when you say we're close to Rough End, are we talking like half a day, like a week? What's
about a day, about a day's journey from where you are.
So we would ideally be able to sail both the ships in procession to Rough End, sell it on the quick to somebody there, and be like, "Hey, here's a ship."
Correct.
Cool. I will. Since I didn't roll well enough to recognize who this rat guy was. I did recognize the name once he said that he was part of Goldfist's treasure.
Yeah.
But I'll ultimately let Alistane. I think I'll do that. I'll take Alistane to the side and say, Alistane, you seem to recognize this rat man. See what you can get out of him. Keep him on our side if you can. I need to start making arrangements for us to get going to Rough End.
You see, there's a bit of turmoil on Alistane's scaled face. Right, Captain. Certainly will do. I think I might be able to get him to come along.
As you sort of turn away, I grab you by the shoulder and I say, "There's no think involved. We need to know what he knows."
Of course.
And then I'll sort of let you on your way, and I'll turn to go topside and start ordering some macaws to start coming across, so that I've got a bare skeleton crew on this ship.
Okay.
Can't hear you.
Michael, you are muted.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
Stupid tiny silence wizard. Yeah, he lives on my channel. He casts silence on me and then runs away, little bastard. So half the macaw, sort of rock, paper, scissors to see who's going on one ship. Somehow or another, you ended up with about 3/4 of them on the vessel you're going to sell, with only a quarter on the first one. As they do so, kind of bumbling around, bumping into each other. Swift, what are you doing amidst the handover?
So Swift was down with Doc Snapper and the rest of the crew, and was very much sort of leaning on the door jamb, smoking a cigar, and just sort of watching everything that was going on. So when the captain said, "Okay, it's time to get the ships going," I reckon she ducked out and hopped onto the other ship, and is currently in the kitchen avoiding work. So that's where you'll find her right now. She'll be in the kitchen, cooking, and largely avoiding work. But yeah, definitely curious about this Dread Pirate Dren. How common knowledge is Goldfist in general?
Goldfist, as far as common knowledge is concerned, he is well known enough that it is a common superstition that one does not bring gold out onto the high seas, because so fierce was the lust of gold that Dren's hunger, Dren's curse, Dren's hand is associated with everything gold. So currency in this area of the sea is done through tokens, ivory tokens, as symbols of exchange, rather than actual gold. Even having gold in your name, like a gold flag or something like that, is considered to be incredibly misfortunate. Whether or not your character knows specifically the origins of that superstition, you are very aware of the name and the superstition surrounding it.
And not that I know it, but last session you picked up some gold from a bag that was dropped.
Yes.
Which you definitely remember from that face.
Yes, that's right. That's right. It was the bag that fell off the raider.
Yeah, it was like a
Navy
random table event or something, and a bag appeared and had gold in it.
Correct.
And, yes, I'd forgotten about that. Thank you for reminding me about that.
Yeah, I figured you might have, and if my character knew about it, it would have been overboard by now. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So in that case, I'm going to be poking through my treasure in the galley, just with a pot beside me. So if anybody comes in, I can just cook it in here.
Sure.
And
right.
That's definitely what's going on with Swift right now.
Could you roll me a percentage, please, if you'd be so kind? And as Swift rolls that percentage, Alistane, you have been afforded a natural 20 token by Miss Bowman.
Oh my. Oh, thank you very much.
Which means at any point in time, you may simply consume it to have rolled a natural 20. That is all.
Yeah, that's... Oh my, I like that. I'm a big
That's
fan.
what you might.
Big old fan of that. Thank you, Miss Bowman. You are amazing.
All right.
All right.
So, with a percentage of 61, as you place the pot over by your side and begin to rifle through your loot, you hear a voice coming from the pot as a kind of like what could only be described as a gelatinous turtle pops its head out of the pot. Its name is Binkley.
Am I familiar with Binkley? Have we met?
Yes, Binkley
or is he getting the ladle?
Binkley is your assistant. Also, the first thing you tried to cook when you came aboard.
Yeah.
As he is very moist. That if I could have any word to describe him, moist is always, even on the driest of days, moist. The lid pops
like a
open.
Wet towelette.
Mistress Swift, you have returned.
Binkley.
Have you brought something for me to eat?
Do I know what I must know what Binkley eats?
Oh God, no.
All right, so
Binkley, you're not sure if Binkley is. He's basically a talking gelatinous cube as far as you're concerned.
Really eats anything.
Sure. Okay. Awesome. In that case, I'm going to grab a carrot from the bag, and sort of tentatively hand it over and say, "Here you are, my disgusting friend."
She spoils me.
And basically,
So,
he sucks the carrot in a way that only Rob could ever describe.
I was picturing the way that a baby eats a banana without any teeth yet. They just mouth it and gum it until it eventually just becomes a soggy mess of a point at the end.
yeah.
Yep. So basically, you watch as this carrot just sort of floats into his skull and starts just dissolving, like almost like effervescence, like kind of like soda, you know, like.
Oh, yes. Delicious.
So I assume you've been guarding the kitchen while I was gone.
Yes, no one has come.
You watch as a single red feather floats to his surface.
No one, Binkley.
No,
I look at
no,
the feather and
mistress.
I look back at him.
It sort of starts.
I look up. Is there anyone in here? Is there any of the macaws in here?
Looking around, you don't see any macaws, but you do see a splat against one of the walls with a silhouette of what could possibly be a macaw.
I love that we're in a cartoon universe. That makes me very happy. So, and I'm just checking one more time, Binkley. I say, raising the ladle. No one's been here.
Please, mistress,
wait,
do
wait,
not
wait.
strike me. I didn't realize. One of the creatures, they came in. They were looking for a sandwich.
A sandwich.
But we do not have any desert witches here, so I ate him. He was a spy. Yes, a spy.
Binkley,
Bingley?
you did well.
Bingley did good. The mistress approves.
You watch as the lid closes and then just sort of almost purrs happily as the pot kind of shakes. Binkley's not in the pot. He's kind of also the pot. It's, yeah, I don't know. It's like a mollusk at the moment.
I love this. I love how witty he is. Great. I love this.
Already.
Yeah, Binkley is my new favorite. Okay, cool. So, Binkley is there.
Mhm.
I would like to do an investigate around the kitchen to see if anything has been moved or changed or rifled through, essentially.
Looking around, you begin to scour the surfaces. It looks reasonably clean from, obviously when you had previously cleaned it. Yeah, when I say you cleaned it, Binkley is a very good cleaning thing. He eats pretty much everything. And looking at the wall with the little slimy kind of silhouette, you do notice that there's something odd about the silhouette. You're not quite sure why or what, but it looks like the head's a bit malformed, as it were. Like, it almost perfectly forms around what would be one of the macaw. So the lizard profile, kind of very kobold-esque, but then the plumage. But it almost looks like there's like a hard shell over their head that seems to be spluttered against the wall here.
I knock on Binkley's pot.
Yes?
The kobold that you sampled, was he wearing a helmet?
Yes. That's how I didn't know it was him, mistress. Yes. He was
Yes, that explains.
He was in disguise. Couldn't be
Yes, and
helped.
now he's in you.
Now he's in a pot.
Now he is in a pot. Did he taste odd to you? Don't tell me you haven't eaten them before, because I know that you have.
Well, he tasted, magic-y.
Yes, that's what I was afraid of. Any
I could
particular
try another one
flavor
just to be sure.
magic-y? I think we'll leave that for now.
Oh, okay.
I tell you what, Binkley.
Yes?
You clean the floor.
Oh.
I'm going to go look into this.
Binkley can clean the floor. Ah, Mistress spoils Binkley. Oh,
He watches the pot sort of tips upside down, and almost like a slug just starts to move around the floor.
He's my Roomba.
Yeah, basically. He's a Roomba.
Yeah, he's my little disgusting slimy mucus Roomba.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, there you go.
He's great.
All right. Meanwhile, down in the depths below the deck, Alistane, you are alone with the very injured, very, very kind of has some, kind of treatments, like his arms in a sling and stuff like that, but very beaten ratfolk, whom you know to be Dr. Snapper.
Yes. I am looking for my spells so that I can figure out. Nope, that is every spell, not just mine. I would like just mine.
I would like to cast all the spell, please.
Prismatic flaming sphere of icy cold hand of symbol of deathy doom.
Of tent of temporary shelter.
Modern kind.
I am, yeah, exactly.
Which charms anyone within 60 feet of it into being frightened.
Here we go. Alrighty. So I am from... Alistane is going to, from his staff, he's going to sort of like walk over very quiet, very wordlessly, and as he's walking, with each time the staff hits, a pulse of natural energy goes up, and at the crook where the hook at the end of the staff is, starts sprouting some berries. And I will cast Good Berry as I am approaching Doc. And I'm just going to sit down right in front of him, wordlessly hand over one of the berries, and just stare for a moment.
He looks at you, and he doesn't exchange the usual pleasant smile that you see most civilians give to one another when in the company of strangers or those that bring them discomfort. His face has a steely gaze, despite his rather relaxed demeanor as he reaches for the good berries. He winces as he almost instinctively uses his broken arm, and then very quickly changes to grab a handful. He pops them in his mouth and knocks them back almost like tablets as opposed to berries themselves, and looks you in the eye. Well,
You were one of Dren's crew.
Aye, once, a long time ago, that were the case.
Before or after the madness, I've heard it told both ways.
You have the bearings of a man who came across Dren yourself. You speak of the madness, but I saw it happen. I'm not so without sin to say that when I was part of his crew, that I didn't see the whole thing coming crashing down around me. But let it be known, 'twere my good fortune and my gut that stayed the hand of Dren, which spared my life, but lost me something precious. You watch as he sort of places his hand over his eye, which you see the eye patch that covers his right eye.
Aye. Quite the insight on you, this one.
Weren't
Suppose
always-
you could have stopped him, then.
I doubt anyone could have stopped him. The madness that took hold of Dren was no mere sickness of the mind. There was something else at play. Ever since he found the first piece of his own treasure. The hunger that dwelled within him, I'd seen it before, in kings and in nobles, but something about pirates. You never take more than you can carry. Or at least that were the saying. Before Dren. After he found that cursed piece, it just wasn't enough. We had a code, and we always tried to uphold it. weren't until the massacre. I saw what that hunger did, and I wanted no part of it. You rest assured of that.
Respectable. Certainly. I've seen that hunger myself. And Dren has taken something from me. Though, maybe not something as... And he'll motion to his scars on his face. And then motion to Doc's eye. Terribly as physical. Friends. Family. I also reckon you know, as my captain is inquiring of me to ask of you, where this treasure might be. And I want you to know, before you answer, I myself don't seek it for personal gain. Things that I've seen from that man. No individual should have any hold over that treasure. That's certainly a conversation I'd have with my captain. But if anything, I'd sooner see it destroyed than in the hands of any one or many folk.
Are you lying to him? Or should I say, let me rephrase. Are you obscuring anything? Are you obscuring anything?
Potentially, yeah. Potentially not telling the whole truth.
All right.
There.
I'm going to get you to make a deception roll.
Okay.
As you communicate this.
Oh, that's not.
Well, you rolled a d12.
That was a d12.
Oh.
Liebling.
Well, that would... All right.
All right. If you, yeah, there you go. Well,
And that's worse.
Worse.
D12. In fact, roll a d10.
No, I have that.
Roll a d10. It might be better.
Nat 20 token.
I was gonna say, remember you have rerolls.
all right.
Want them.
Yes.
He looks at you and he says, I sense your pain, I do, and I empathize with you. That treasure can't be found by anyone that seeks it. And I would spare you and your crew the same fate that befell mine. And ain't no way that I'm parting with the knowledge in my head, short of someone putting a bullet through it. Can you make an insight check for me?
Yes, absolutely. I was just about to ask. All right. And that is going to be 12 plus 5, so that's going to be 17.
With the 17, his wordplay is more literal than you think. The secret to the location of
Interesting.
Dren's treasure may possibly be only
Be
discovered
literally-
upon his death, or literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the deck of the ship, Captain Razorbeak, you are approached by one of the macaw, who, by the way, for the purposes of me resting my voices on having a bunch of macaw,
No. No.
Yep,
Not
yep, it's what's happening.
accepted.
They're now speaking their own language, which Fork is completely fluent in, that he will understand and translate no matter the situation. So, two of the
How appropriate.
two of the macaw walk up to Fork and go,
Figure that out.
and as
Yeah.
I understand it,
Yeah, of course.
you then I translate it in my own head to mean
Yeah, your ships are ready. Let's get going. Whenever you're on your word, Captain.
Right, you are. Patches, you'll be acting as acting captain on the merchant ship. Keep in mind that you are a merchant vessel, and we are simply escorting you to Rough End. Is there a port anywhere near Rough End that we would more likely be on the way to, or is like Rough End known? I mean, it's called Rough End, so I think I know the answer already. Is it only known for like if anybody's heading there, then it's because of pirate goods and deeds?
No, actually, Rough End is actually almost like a legal pirating port. It is very close to the Kingdom of Trist, but they do allow for their commerce to go through this merchant area because many years ago the kingdom realized that they had to treat with the free captains of the council of buccaneers and pirates that exist here, and part of that deal that their ships are relatively safe, and they have a marquee that will prove that. Is that Rough End is immune to the laws of Trist.
Right. So if there was, I don't know, would there be likely to be any sort of a blockade or anything like checking, like a police check, like
No.
people coming and going? No,
not at all.
Okay, cool. So I don't worry about that then. I just say just keep in mind that we're a merchant vessel and we're heading to Rough End. Tibbles will be on helm. And I'll get Eagle Eye to stay up the front to help navigate, but essentially you're just following us, okay?
What?
Where's Gary? I want him on this ship too.
All of a sudden, one of the macaw.
Where is Gary? The last I saw, he was on the deck of our ship, messing around with armor.
You watch as they point towards the kitchen.
He went to the kitchen. Fine. You stay here. You're going to be on this ship too. And then I'll wings go out and I'll fly back to my ship.
Oh, I thought you kicked him.
No. Wings go out and I fly down to my ship to go and find Gary because I want him to be sort of second in command, as it were, to Patches on the other ship. I'll make my way down to the kitchen.
Very well. In the kitchen, Swift, you are there, and Fork, as you walk in, I'm going to ask in terms of relationship, would you prefer to know about Binkley, or would you prefer that Binkley be like this weird secret that's just in your ship?
How big is he?
He's the size of a stew pot.
Like, I was going to say stock pot sized.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And he generally just stays to the kitchen?
Yeah, more or less.
I think
he was there when I got here.
I think I'm aware of him, but I just never really see him because I don't spend a lot of time in the kitchen. Okay. So I'm aware that people talk about some pest problem, and I don't know what form it takes. I assume that people talk about like rats or something, and it's just like, and I've never really known that he's a gelatinous tortoise stew pot thing.
There you go. All right.
But yeah, I'm aware. Cool. People talk about Binkley, and I don't know what he is. He's just something that lives in the kitchen.
All right. You
and on the way, my since I'm away from our prisoner / guest, my intimidating gear has shifted back into my casual gear. My plague mask shifting back into a tricorner hat.
Nice.
As I enter the kitchen.
I love that so much.
So as he enters, I was just leaving, so we probably like bump into each other in the door.
Yeah.
Swift.
Oh.
Have you seen? You probably don't know them by name yet. Have you seen Gary? He's one of the macaws, about yay big. I mean, they're all about yay big. He's got red feathers down his back.
I look at the shape on the wall. I look back at the captain. I say, I may have some idea of where he's gone.
Then out with it, Swift.
Well, out with it is really rather the problem. Binkley, my little oozling.
What?
Blink, blink.
Oh.
Tell the captain what you told me.
For the very first time, as the lid...
I duck back into the shadows because I don't want to get shot as the messenger.
As the lid pops open, this pair of eyes see you.
Yes, mistress. You see, Captain, there was an intruder. He snuck in, wearing a disguise. Bingley armed. But by that stage, he didn't realize it was a macaw. It's gone now.
Yes.
Inside.
Swift,
Now-
what are you cooking?
Huh?
What is this?
Excuse me.
What are you
Carrots.
cooking? What is this?
This is Binkley. Well, I assumed you knew about him. He's
No, Binkley's a rat or something. He's
Yes, I'm a rat. You watch as a skeleton of a rat just gets thrown out of the pot, and just it lands in like this glue like ooze that drips.
Look, Binkley is neither here nor there. He's a oozling or something. I don't know. But the significant point is, Binkley, what did the macaw taste like?
Magic. Yes.
Now,
no,
as far as I know,
Binkley tastes
the macaws are not
no.
enhanced. So there
Was
was
he
something wrong
wearing-
with that macaw before he came down here.
Was he wearing armor?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Tink, clink, 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 clink. The helmet rattles to the floor.
You see a very slow tentacle slide down from my hand and then solidify itself into a rapier. And I'm just going to poke at it and just pull the helmet out of the goo. Just have it hang on the end.
That's from the Solari soldiers, is it not?
Yes, I saw them playing with them. They were disarming them before I threw them overboard.
You look at you give a close examination of the actual helmet itself. It looks to be a very standard, fully enclosed helm with a eye visor that slits down the side of the eyes and the nose. However, on the interior of the helmet itself are about 1.5 inch long nails, 32 of them, which would otherwise, when worn, be dug deep into the skull, possibly even puncturing the brain in several places.
I have heard that beauty is pain, but this seems ridiculous.
I reach out and touch it.
You touch it. It is cold to the touch.
Just turn
Can
it
I
over and just look
investigate?
inside it.
It is covered in blood, bits of hair, and now a pile of jelly slime.
Get one moment. Binkley, could you clean this off for me?
Oh, yes, mistress.
Nice and clean, please.
Do you put it in the pot?
Yeah, I put it back on the end of my rapier, and I don't get any closer to Binkley, but I just hold it back out to Binkley.
Punk! It comes out. It is pristine. There's no blood. There's no stains. There's no hair. There's not even slime. Binkley. One of Binkley's abilities is he can turn the viscousness of himself up or down, so he can turn it into basically water. So it just sort of and
Just-
washes off.
Just put him on the rinse
Okay.
cycle.
As he spits it out, I say, "Who's a good little oozling?" And I toss him a carrot. Who's a good little oozling?
You,
Sorry, Captain. I believe it's clean now.
I'll pick it up again, stick it into my hand, and I say, right, make a start on dinner, and don't go anywhere. We have to have words later. And I will walk back out of the kitchen.
Words. My favorite kind of conversation.
all right.
As opposed to.
Back
Right,
down,
exactly.
back down below the merchant vessel, Alistane, you sit across from none other than Doc Snapper, adamantly refusing your request for the clue or the passage to the treasure that your captain has entrusted you to find.
Doc, I understand the situation that you were put in. I can't imagine it was difficult. I can't imagine it was easy to see your friend turn to insanity like that. But I lie awake at nights imagining that man's face. His eyes. They say he disappeared. And yet sightings. And the tales continue. Doc, I have to know if he's dead or not. If these nightmares are justified.
He swallows
You weren't
hard
able to stop
as you
them.
say that.
You weren't able to stop them. And as far as I see it, there's something that you owe to those that were lost. Not just my... but all of them.
You make
We
a
need
good
something,
point.
Doc.
But knowledge can be a dangerous thing.
Aye.
Look, I'll tell you something. The Dren that I knew died many years ago. But that thing that sails the waters, that be no man, no mere spectre, or ghoul or ghast. Tell me, Alistine, do you know the power of a name? At this point, you realize you never told him your name.
That I do.
A name carries with it a weight that only the crushing blue depths of the ocean can ever truly understand. Sacrifice. Yes. Sacrifice. That's the blood that has been spilled, not by you, not by me, but by those who carry the weight of a name. Something we own, but scarcely ever use, is one of our own. Dren. Even the name sends chills down the spines of those many, many years since his time. So you ask me, is Dren dead? No, lad. So long as his name is whispered on the tongues of the fearful, he will live through this very sea.
Then how can any of us hope to kill him? To rid the world of that monstrosity forever, which will erase his name from the histories.
One
How?
would have to be a god. As he says that, you see a very fearful look in his eye as the ship suddenly lurches to one side. As if something heavy has passed underneath.
Fall over.
He does not fall over.
Oh, okay.
Alright. As you grab hold of him and hold him steady, Fork, you and Swift suddenly also feel the ship lurch to one side.
I take off immediately up the stairs, back out to top side to see what the hell is happening.
Alright. As you head to the top side, the sea itself looks calm and clear, but something seems wrong. All of the macaw are looking around to the side. The waves seem to crash and swirl. And as they do, you notice that the crew seem to be going back and forth. They seem to be arguing about seeing something in the water.
I grab the nearest one and I say, Frankie, what was it?
As he describes, what he says is a beautiful man kicked the ship.
How large was this man?
He gestures at you.
I look over the side of the ship.
Looking over the side of the ship, you see nothing that seems to catch your attention until you see what you think is a pile of seaweed and a flash of like these white and maybe kind of reddish tan colors moving. It is not moving in a natural way to the currents. Something is down there.
Can I do a rabbit hop up to the rigging to see if I can get a better look?
Absolutely. Very quickly, you rabbit hop up to the top of the mast. As you look down, you can see the dark blue depths below you. The kelp fields that seem to be below the ship are more clear. Can you make a perception check for me?
Yes. That sounded very confident, didn't it? Yes, there we go. Can't find it.
Oh!
Natural 20!
Love
I see
that.
everything.
Well, more specifically, you see him.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Captain, he was right. It was a beautiful man. I'd like to
Azalus!
keep this one.
Azalus on deck! Hands on deck!
Just
You
don't
look-
Battle
mess
stations!
him up too much.
You look around, specifically over at the helm, and Azala seems to be gripping onto the wheel and not moving.
Keep us steady, Azalus! Do I notice that he seems like distressed about that, or
He seems to be
frozen, or
unresponsive.
is he some to be just?
Very unresponsive.
Let me see. What's my insight? Would I notice that? Double check. No, probably not in the moment. I think he's just focused and
Yep.
keeping us steady.
Right,
I'll
right.
look down. Can I now see this guy now that Swift's pointing him out? Or?
Yeah, as Swift is pointing him out, you can see him moving through the water.
Seems to be humanoid size, like he's not giant. He's not
Correct.
storm giant size or anything. Yeah. And he's carrying that blade.
Uh,
those blades?
He's carrying 2 blades, specifically.
And swimming with what seems to be insectile wings of some kind.
Like they're fins. They're like lionfish sails, you know, kind of. If you've ever seen a lionfish, that's kind of the look. Swift.
I would like to call down in my loudest voice to the creature. I rolled a 15 on my persuasion check, but I might re-roll. And I'd like to say, hello. We don't need to fight. You're very cute. Maybe we could just be friends.
While she's shouting that, the Tricorn has migrated down to the intimidation regalia. A muted deck.
The tiny mute wizard has come. The mute
Tiny
mage.
mute wizard. All right.
The tiny mute mage.
All right. As you see, as you kind of look down and you call out, there is a large splash as several pillars of water surround the ship. Each of these pillars supports what looks to be a dancing, almost dervish creature that rides atop these pillars of water.
Someone's excited.
And you will see...
Oh my.
So each on top of these pillars seems like one of those guys. These
correct.
beautiful dudes. Awesome.
Cool.
All right, for those of you who want a close-up view of what these things are, there you go. All right.
They're quite fishy.
Oof.
If
They
I
are very
if
They
I-
are.
if I have the opportunity,
Would
for,
not say pretty.
for getting
I
a
was gonna say, I
staff.
thought they were beautiful.
I think there's the one guy that's beautiful. I think the rest of them.
No, yeah, the beautiful guy is not there. These guys have just sort of come up as Swift has called out.
Outrageous.
I will give you a chance to. I'll give you a round. Like again, they're not really acting an initiative yet. They're aggressive, but they're not like attacking yet. What would you like to do?
So yeah, I've just shouted out battle stations to the crew anyway, so it's time to get ready. I will sweep out my hand towards one of these columns of water that you can see I'm pretty close to anyway, and a bunch of the flecks come flying off of it, and I sort of redirect some of that water. It goes in a little bit of a thin water whip around me, and then hits itself into my person, and everywhere it hits, it sort of forms these ice shards over my person, accentuating the already sort of villainous and intimidating costume with the large pauldrons. But now it's covered in ice as I cast Armor of Agathis on myself, and then my wings go out to the side, and I sort of go up to level to sort of be on the same sort of altitude level as the whoever this guy is here next to me.
Nice. Yep. His name is Gurgle. His son of Burble, and he is studying to be a doctor.
Nice.
Okay.
Do that.
Alistane, what would you like to do as you are below deck currently of the other ship? So you're in the merchant ship still.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not. All right. So I'm not on deck here.
No. I mean, we'll use the boat as an equivalency, but you'll be on the other ship.
Yeah. I think can I hear all hands to battle stations?
Yes.
Or have I...
No, you can absolutely hear. Yeah. Because usually it's in the company of a bell, which as soon as Razorbeak yells that out, several of them are like, ding 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 ding, ding 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 ding.
This is going to be an interesting...
Do I have a ding ding? I do not.
I think what I'm going to do is... How is Doc chained up at the moment?
His feet are chained to the floor and his hands are chained together.
Okay. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to unlock him from the floor, but I'm going to keep his hands chained together, and I'm going to pull his arms around my neck like a backpack, almost like a little sling bag. I'm not letting you out of my sight, Doc, but we've got business to take care of. And I am going to rush up to the top of the deck and see. I'll take my movement to the top of the deck to get a good vantage of where all of these enemies are.
Very nice. Now, as you begin to make your way up, you hear Doc saying to you, "They've come. They've come for me. He can hear it. He knows what you're after."
Well, I imagine anybody that has you in their possession, he would. But that doesn't mean that we're handing you over all willy-nilly.
This is
We've
why
got
I left the
integrity
sea.
on our hands.
All right. You have
questions on how you wound up here, but we'll deal with that later.
All right. You have Doc wrapped around you. This is now protect the VIP quest.
Tie a rope.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Swift, what would you like to do?
Where's the cute one? I was promised a cute one. What is this?
I came
Where's
here
the
for
cute
cute
one?
mermen.
Exactly.
God damn it,
Who are
I'll
these-
find my cute mermen.
Who are these fish-faced, extraordinary creatures? I suppose is what we'll go with. I'm all for inclusivity, but hot is hot. What can I say? So that's basically all she does. She takes out her pistol. She will prepare to give herself advantage on the next round, but she's not actually going to attack unless they attack first because she feels like she's going to get in trouble for that. And,
Nice.
And she's
All right.
already in so
Very well.
much trouble.
You take aim, which will give you advantage on your next attack. All right. Let us roll initiative. Captain Razorbeak, you are... No, sorry, Swift is up first. What am I saying? Psh.
Of course she is.
Yeah, she's a horrendous.
I am
weird
going
if she
to defer my turn till the end of the round, if that's okay.
That is perfectly fine.
But what I would like to do is say, Captain, is there a plan?
How do you rule interactions out of turn?
Conversations are within reason. Like formulating entire plans is a little bit much, but you know,
as long as it can fit to a couple seconds.
Yeah.
So describe it to me then. What do I feel like they are being hostile? Like these pillars of water, or they're not just coming up to be like just popping out of the water to chat. They're like out coming onto the ship. What's
no,
the
they're not coming onto the ship. They are.
But they.
The danger here is you can't tell.
Right. Okay. Then I say, stand your ground. And as I say that, this huge tentacle emerges from my hand, and I conjure the greatsword again.
I'm still in the rigging, so what that means to me is hang out in the rigging.
Yep.
So I just like grab the rigging and I'm like, yep, I'm here.
All right. Well, if you guys are chilling out, damn. Okay.
Well, Swift is.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That's kind of her default position, to be fair.
All right. In which case, the creatures that surround you do not seem to, in any way, shape, or form, attack. On their turn, they simply continue to maintain these pillars of water as they look out and on you. As emerging from the surf and landing on deck with a very glorious jump is none other than the beautiful fish person that you had seen previously.
Yeah.
I came here to kick ass and seduce hot fishmen, and I'm all out of hot fishmen.
Wait, no, here's one. Here's one more. Thank goodness.
No, never mind.
No, we are freshly supplied with hot fishmen. It's fine.
Your asses are saved for now.
All right. So, as the fishman lands on the deck, he wafts his very glorious silky hair like backwards, and as he does, he says, "Now come quietly, and there shall not be trouble. We only seek the old rat. Provide him to us, and none of your crew will be harmed. Defy us, however, and we will be swift and relentless."
Hey, I'm Swift.
Oh, she's swift.
Let me put this to you. You have landed on the wrong ship today. We do not know what you're speaking of with this rat, but if you do not leave my deck, none of your men will live.
He looks around. You know what? Actually, you're right. I am on the wrong ship. He leaps off your ship and into the water, and then leaps onto the ship with Alistane on it. This is better. You there. I see that you have the rat that I have come here to kill. Kindly relinquish your furry backpack, and none shall be harmed.
Well, first of all, I feel like you being directly pointed to me was a bit of a dick move. Second of all, that would be in direct contradiction of my captain's orders. So I'm going to have to politely decline.
This is unfortunate. You see, I am afraid that the kingdoms of the merfolk are quite insistent. En garde! As you watch, he holds this what looks to be a very poignant rapier made from one of the spines, likely taken from his own back.
Right.
Good, I guess we can go to initiative again. Initiative again. Let's see what happens. Bam! Freaking Nazalis.
All right. Let's see what we got.
So.
Oh, come on.
All right. Well, that was not much better. All right. So the Sahajin are okay. So here's what's basically going to happen. The Sahajin create this like kind of swirling array of water. What they're trying to do is basically create a barrier between one ship and the other. They aren't attacking, but Swift and Razorbeak, you can tell very quickly that as they're moving their hands, any of the macaw that are trying to jump across are getting swatted down by these watery bursts that are just sort of, and he lands in the water. They're not killing him or anything. Like, the guy sort of swims back up and climbs up, and he's just wet and miserable. But for the most part, that's it.
I just want to point out that Doc just gave Alistair a little kiss because just a face appeared out of nowhere in Patrick's screen, and just after saying that he's wearing Doc like a backpack. So,
that was my wife coming in to say goodnight.
it was perfectly like this little rat man. After you've been like, I'm not handing him over, he just went, thanks, man. I'll give you a little.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's just.
Oh,
you know what? If I survive this, if I survive this, I'll give you a treasure. All right.
Oh my.
Yes.
We don't know each other that well, but take me out to dinner first.
Oh, rest assured, dinner will be the first thing.
The water walls that are blocking between me and the other ship, are the Sahuagin on the other side of that, or on my side as well?
They're on both sides. They're on both sides.
And they seem to be like concentrating on these things, right? It's
more
ongoing
or less.
Thing that they
yeah.
have to be doing.
It's not a solid wall of water. It's kind of like just these little
bursts of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Making it difficult.
Correct.
Let's see how well they can concentrate when I lop off their heads.
Well, it is currently the Blade Master's turn.
Oh, good.
As he looks at Alistair. And he is going to attempt to non-lethally stab you.
The way they describe that, I'm like, oh, hang on, I'm kind of liking the cut of this guy's jib.
All right.
Non-lethally is appreciated.
Well, as he does so basically how he is trying to non-lethally stab you, is as he thrusts his blade into you. It is not a deep wound, but you are going to make a Constitution saving throw as the tip of the sword penetrates your shoulder.
Roger that.
Ooh, that is not ideal.
So I don't think, without assistance, Alistair has ever rolled above a 10.
It's not happening, is it?
I don't know what's going on. Do I have a reroll, don't I?
You have a reroll and a nat 20.
As well.
I'm gonna save the nat 20 for now. I'm gonna go with the reroll.
Oh, and the dice laugh. They laugh at your pants.
I don't know what to do here.
You're holding a giant rat man, so you're encumbered a little bit.
Yeah.
Your movements are not doing too well.
Okay. Well.
So yeah. Okay. So look, there's only so much I can do to help you.
There's only so much.
as the blade penetrates your shoulder.
Yep.
Ouch.
That is 13 points of poison damage. But again, it is non-lethal. So basically, if you reach 0, you won't be dying. You will simply be knocked out.
Okay. Have we taken a long rest since our last battle at all?
No.
No.
You haven't even had a short rest.
Nah.
Oh. So I am down to 10 HP.
Excellent.
You got this. Easy.
He also has multi-attack, but is choosing not to use it because all of his other attacks are lethal. So he has no intention of doing that. But you do see that his form is actually indicative. Oh, actually, make me a history check. I like this.
Oh, yes. Okay.
History checks. Lore is important. Lore is important for context.
While the history's going on, how far away are the two ships, by the way?
They are adjacent. So they're about there's like a 10-foot gap between the two.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Hop.
It's 12.
12? Okay, with a 12, as a seafaring individual, you would know that the merfolk in my world of Olestria are very despondent with surface dwellers, mostly because of lots of betrayal and slavery and a bunch of other stuff.
You do.
They don't like people.
Yeah.
More
What's
specifically,
a little slavery between friends?
More specifically, however, they do not engage in what's considered to be a break in the Treaty of Peace.
I
but
see.
This person seems to have a very royal bearing. The way he fights is very akin to noble fencing. He is very measured, very targeted. Most of the others are, like sea warpers or spearmen, or you know what I mean? Like, they're the more common folks. This dude is definitely wielding some very ornate blades at you. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I do not want to take credit for the artwork of this guy. This guy was actually a submission to Hero Forge for their like monthly best ofs, and I loved him so much. I got him. But have a look at Masters of the Forge on Facebook and join the art community there, where a lot of people put up stuff like this, which are always going to be perfect for your games. So yeah, go check that out. All right, so stabby stab. Next up is Alistane.
You got this, Pat.
Well, yeah.
Nation.
Yeah. Let's do this. Okay, well that's unhelpful. Does he look to be wearing any sort of metal, or is it more organic armor?
Very organic. Actually,
Yeah,
he's only seems to be wearing a single cloth over his person.
Well, we are feeling bold today, apparently.
Well, they generally don't go swimming in plate mail.
This is very fair.
Well, actually, one of them do, but we don't talk about them.
Yeah.
They swim.
the weird
They
ones.
swam in a very specific direction.
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah.
got I've got an NPC character that I made ages ago. He's just afraid of the surface so much that he wears metal armor just to like walk on the floor because he's also a really bad
no.
swimmer.
That's incredible.
And it's one of those bubble helmet things as well.
Let's see. I think for right now, I am. Instead of targeting this individual, did the other creatures look sentient at all, or do they look sort of pawns? Do they look to be pawns of this individual?
Look, I wouldn't get them to do my taxes, but you know.
Fair. They're living, breathing. I'm gonna see if I can open up a dialogue with this guy before he continues to stab me.
Very well.
Well, and he's gonna be clutching the poison wound in his chest. Clearly, I'm at a disadvantage here. However, what is your purpose with this individual? What do you want him for, other than death?
I do not seek his death. I simply seek to take him to someone who may or may not seek their death. This person.
Unhelpful.
Listen, I am a busy fishman, and I have many places to be and many people to stab. But please tell me that you have a little more fight in you than this. I mean, come now, it's like fighting a sea cucumber in a barrel.
Well, how about a storm? And I will cast Call Lightning.
Nice.
Don't cook my sexy fish man.
He looks absolutely amazed.
He's just more delicious this way.
He goes,
Steaming.
"What is this? What is that supposed to do? I have never seen this before. I don't know if you realize this, but there are not very many clouds in the deep sea. Oh, this is amazing. What will it do, I wonder?" He is actually not going to save.
I love that he's so enraptured with what is happening.
With his
He's just like,
with his like
"Oh,
swords. Look at that! Pointing with his sword.
Yep. I wonder if I can reach it.
Mon Dieu, what will happen if I touch it, huh?
oh my god.
All right, but yes, there is no saving throw. Just do your damage.
That is incredible.
Full damage.
3d10 then. we'll select the 3. Yeah, here's. I'm gonna have to roll these individually, unfortunately, because I am currently just working with a trackpad.
Ah, okay, very well.
Nice.
All right, so that is gonna be 22 damage.
22. Damn. Ow, he did not like that.
Fried fish.
As the lightning hits him, you watch as he, as like you can see, like he's like all like the little, I don't even know how to call them, the sails, I guess, or the very ribbony tassel kind of like fins on him have been burnt and seared at the edges. He kind of looks at them. Oh, it looks like I gave you not enough credit. He whips his hair back, and then he takes the edge of the blade and cuts his the ribbons short. And he says,
Alistair's just gonna
and he screams in
slowly
pain.
turn to Doc like,
oh, don't look at me. Fishmen be frickin' weird.
Okay then.
So these particular species of lionfish actually have the tassels and stuff like that to distract predators, so that they
yes.
will bite them and then remove them. Seeing that he is a much larger target with these things, and you know, with the lightning having seared and attacked what he recognizes as his extremities, he is going to remove said extremities and go, haha, this'll work. He is not very smart. He's very pretty, but not very smart. All right.
Yeah.
Captain Razorbeak. I believe it's you, unless, of course, Alastair, you wish to use a bonus action for anything.
Captain, little help over here. And I will end my turn.
All right. Captain Razorbeak, you are on the other side of the deck. You can see more of these fishy folk.
I will fly. Are these guys got melee weapons out, or are they all magic-y shit?
Magic-y shit.
And you say they're not armored, right?
Nope, not at all.
I'm taking one strike right across at this one that's closest to me. And drop it on him, yeah. There we go, that'll do it, I think.
Okay.
Damage of a great sword.
Okay, he is going to attempt to reduce the damage. Let's see how he goes. All right, he reduces it by 1. As he raises up a wall of water, your blade penetrates through the wall and into him.
Then I will. Let's see. He's still alive. I'm going to leave his melee range.
He will bite you.
All right.
Actually, no, he won't. No, he'll let you leave. Why is he trying to hold you here? No, go, leave. Away.
Damn, I was hoping he'd bite me. And I will fly across the ship, sort of on a direct beeline for the other ship, but my 30 feet fly speed will get me next to this guy.
Yep.
And as I fly next to that guy on the way past, I'm clotheslining him with my greatsword.
All right.
Come on. Oops, no, that's the damage. What can I do with it now that I've picked it up? Just drop it there. Attack with. There we go. Attack with the thing. There we go.
Sorry, I saw Wraith's comment in chat. I'll leave that for Rob to read.
I hit him for a 22, 11 points of damage.
22. Oof. All right, so that'll hit. And as for damage, he is going to try and reduce it. So I'm going to reduce it by enough, but man, whatever. 4 hit points reduction.
1, 2. Then I've got a bonus action. I will. You said there's about 10 feet gap between the two ships.
Yep.
So on that same motion, then I slash across this guy, and then I flick the tip of the greatsword out as if I'm trying to flick water off it. And sure enough, water does flick off the end of it, and this water, this like single drop of water, mixed with some Sahuagin blood, I'm sure, flings across, and it seems to expand in the air until it hits the deck of the ship right next to the beautiful boy. And where it hits, it immediately sprouts this enormous cold tendril, which will
rap out at him as a bonus action.
Ah, very nice.
I don't think I knew there was something I still haven't added to my quick thing.
Tentacles!
I'll just do it regular d20 for now. 19 plus stuff, I'm sure it'll hit.
That will hit.
What does it do? I think it's a d10. Let me double check.
Yes.
Bonus action. Tentacle of the deeps, rather. Blah blah blah. 1d8 cold damage. There we go.
All right.
He takes 7 points of cold damage, and his speed is reduced by 10 feet for the round. And as it does, it sort of slaps this hagfish slime across his lower half, sort of slowing his extremities a bit. And I say, "This is your last chance to get off of my ships."
Is it a law? You are a bossy one, aren't you?
It comes with the territory of being captain of 2 ships.
Yes, well, this is the part where you are mistaken. Me being on your ship is not me on your territory. Your ships are in my territory. And the Sahajan, the fish people, which are Sahajan, continue to roil the waves around the ship. Swift, it is your turn.
Okay, so Swift would like to perform Misty Step. So what happens essentially is, from the rigging, she's going to take a deep breath in, and then as she takes the deep breath out, she's going to just melt away from where she is on the rigging, and appear over on the other ship in a twist. So as she lands, she's sort of going to twist around on the spot.
Nice.
So her greatcoat sort of flies open. I would like to land, if I may, behind Fishboy.
Very well.
And as I appear, I'd like to sort of tap him on the shoulder and say, "Hi, I'm Swift. I don't think we've been introduced."
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution.
Oh my
saving
god.
throw. I'm not gonna get stabbed.
No.
That's just rude.
No, he's poisonous. On contact.
He's poisonous.
Oh, yes, because he's a lionfish.
Yeah,
so
all the hot ones are.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, right.
I hope you make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
It's
cool,
a
you make it.
17.
All right.
Swift,
So,
I think this relationship is a toxic one. You should eschew it.
all right.
A bunny and a lionfish. It was never meant to be.
So, actually, ironically, because of the padding on your hand as you tap him very gently, you
Just a
do not trigger the neurotoxin that emanates from his person. He turns. What is your character's charisma?
My character's charisma is +3, 16.
Ooh, make me a.
And a swashbuckler.
Oh, back in the day we used to have seduction checks. Let's go with a.
I know, right? I've got persuasion.
Let's go with persuasion. As he turns to see the visage of a Harengon.
Glumph. Hi. That's a natural 20.
Did you just take levels of Bard without me noticing?
I love brogues. It's Bard, it's Rogue, it uses its powers for evil. We love it. It's a brogue. That's what I love
Janet,
to play.
can I have some of your roll luck, please? For the love of God.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I've had 2 20s now.
All right. Hold up. I got exactly where this is going.
Incredible.
So I do have my rapier at the ready, but there's definitely a certain amount of sort of hair flicking going on.
All right.
That's awesome.
Just gonna let the mood sink in.
I love what is happening here.
As he turns, he looks at you. He's got fresh cuts as he literally has cut his hair. And as he looks at you, he says, I have never seen anything quite like you. Mademoiselle, what is your name? I must know it, please.
You can call me Swift.
Madame
Bunny
Swift.
ears blowing in the breeze.
He looks at you. Meanwhile, in the background, you see several of the macaw like jumping with knives at these fish people. They're getting blown clean across the deck by massive gouts of waves as the rain from the explosions sort of pelts down, almost making it look like the both of you are standing in the rain. He says, "Well, allow me to introduce myself." He bows and says, "I am Third Prince Ionis of the Deep Water Tribe. And might I say, it is a true privilege."
Actually, my character is wearing gloves. So, I'm gonna put out my hand like this. Enchanté, I think is how you say it.
He kneels down, and as he does, he actually stabs the sword, the rapiers, into the deck as he kisses the back of your hand. Alistane, you watch as basically Alistane and you watch the rat folk with a broken arm has sort of pulled out what looks to be basically a flintlock, and has just started shooting people from the back of Alistane, who's like, just like still like shooting lightning across the deck. Forks has basically
Tinnitus!
Forks has grabbed hold of one of these Sahajin, ripped its mouth open, and just just pulled it to pieces.
Grabbed one of them by the fishy bit at the back of the head and then just stuck an entire greatsword through their neck.
The large wobbly tentacle on the deck has like grabbed hold of one of the macaw and is beating one of the Sahajin with the macaw.
Distraction 20.
As
incredible.
He says, they tell all of the royalty that we should not come to the surface, lest we be blinded by the sun. And I did not understand what that meant until this very moment.
But you know that this can never be.
He sort of stands and he turns away. His as he does it, his whole like cape swooshes, and he says, I know. Here you are, a beauty beyond all description, and I, the third heir to a royal empire, paid to bring an old sea codger down into the briny depth to meet with my father before he can reunite with another member of his crew at Rough End and start a chain of events that may lead to the destruction of all the mermaid empires. Oh, wait 1 second. He takes off his ring of +1 exposition and throws it in the sea. But listen.
As it goes to land in the sea, another Sahuagin comes out and like grabs it, and then a tentacle comes out of nowhere from Fork. tears the Sahuagin apart in the background.
As he tosses the ring into the sea, Alistane goes, "See, now that's the kind of pertinent information that when you're having a conversation with someone, you should tell them before going all stabby.
Please ignore my foolish associates. Go
I'm in the background, like doing a spinny spin with like an eldritch blast tentacle out of either hand, and I'm just like spinning around.
As this happens, and Alistane is like yelling, it basically drowns out to like this like slow motion like
rosé filter going.
As he's just yelling across at this guy.
This enormous black tentacle greatsword goes falling in across. I've just launched it across another sword.
Oh.
And he's like
and
falling
it
in
lands
half.
at the deck
Taking
and goes
my
like wong.
Yeah, and as one of them falls in half, you realize very quickly that cutting them in half doesn't kill them. One of them grabs hold of Alistane's leg and starts pulling him off the deck.
Just grab my staff and hook him in under the chin and then toss him back up.
I know, it may be crazy, but perhaps there is a world where there is a place in the surface for something more than just mistrust and hatred. Maybe there is something more that can be said for. And as he says this, there is a bang from the pistol that is being held by Doc Snapper. And it goes through his shoulder as this translucent, blue, luminous ichor pours down his chest. He looks down at his wound and then turns and falls.
I move so that I can grab him. I will cradle his head against my leathered greatcoat.
Yeah, leathered is it? Okay, very well. As important details. As you do so, you go to your knees and you lay. He's kind of still there. He's like, strange. I thought perhaps being up here would be so cold, like the deep blue sea where I call home. But who would have ever thought that the sky would be so warm?
Maybe we'll meet again, where the sea meets the shore.
He closes his eyes and goes still in your hands.
Okay, Swift, with tears down her face like this, looks up at the sky and screams a rabbity scream of pain that sounds something like this. I'm gonna move my microphone. Ah! I don't know if you've ever heard a rabbit. They're not very elegant.
As the chaos subsides,
well, now I feel bad.
the Sahajin are retreating. The ones that have survived. Fork 1 is retreating. You've kind of grabbed him and stopped him from running away for some reason. And Alistane, your tinnitus is definitely acting up as the gunshot rang out. He's trying to reload. You're not entirely sure where he got a gun from, but he has one. As the scene unfolds, there is stillness on the ship.
I take one of the half bodies that I've torn apart with one of them, and I launch, just like one-handed, launch it off the side of the ship and say, "May the bodies of my enemies feed your insatiable hunger." And then I take off and I start flying towards Swift and the one that she's cradling, and the rubbery tentacle that's with it lashes out and grabs him by the legs and tries to pull him away from Swift.
Yeah, I will use a reaction. I've got a billion of them. Give me a second. Like, I'm only reactions. This character is all reactions. I will use... I can't use a dodge action with somebody else, can I?
No. If you can describe what you're doing, I will allow you to maybe do it for a hero point.
Okay, I would like to... My rapier has still been in my hand.
Yep.
So it's... so I would like to reach out with my rapier and catch the tentacle and say, no!
Very
this
well.
One
for a hero point, that
mine.
will automatically succeed. You reach out with your rapier and very dramatically ensnare it. You don't cut it or chop it. It's just more entangled in the tip of your blade through your swordsmanish swish. Your flourish. That's the word.
I land down on the deck next to you. What is the meaning of this, Swift? Are you well? Is he in your head?
I'm sorry. I honestly didn't get that. I'm so sorry.
What is the meaning of it? Is he in your head? Are you well?
I believe he's more dead than anything else.
Let's
Is he
say.
dead?
At this point, he sort of sits up and says,
Oh,
I am
well,
not dead.
never mind.
Oh, I am not dead. No. This is a simple bullet wound.
I swing my great sword back around to him then.
Wait. One moment. Look, perhaps maybe you were right. We did get off on the wrong foot. Allow me to properly introduce myself. I am how you call a seeker, a person, a bounty, mercenary, hunter. I look for people very important who are very dangerous, and I bring them to justice. This is all, like a bailiff, but not official. I kind of do it on this side.
I sort of get right down close to him and I say, "Is this your first job?"
Oh, you are very close. Yes, this is, well, it's my first surface job. I've done it many times in the ocean, but I don't know about you. But if you realize, there's not many people running around doing this sort of thing down underneath the water.
Doing what kind of thing?
Oh, bringing about the end of the world, this sort of thing. But when is it not? That... It's always, this will bring about the end of the world. Mother says
You said that before.
He's not. He's got a point.
Can you tell us a little bit more? Darling, sweetie, about exactly which particular end of the world you may be referring.
Look, I really can't go into it. It's not my my place to. May I stand up? This is very uncomfortable. I have lots of spines. You're very rude.
No. If you wish to ever stand up again, you'll start to speak.
I've already been speaking.
And I'll put the tip of my greatsword above his ankle.
No, don't damage him anymore. Come on.
The lack of communication is what got us in this tough spot in the first place. Let's be honest.
He awaits Fox's response.
Tell us about this end of the world.
Look, being perfectly frank, I don't know anything about it. But my parents do. But my parents, they do not like surface dwellers. They are not fans. You probably understand why, but thankfully none of you are human. So really, I mean, you're about as strange as we are. As far as I've been told, there is lots to be said about the emptiness inside human beings. They all seek something that they cannot fulfill, and yet they continue to sail, to hunt, to pillage, to ravage our seas as much as they would like. Well, my kind, as you know, have always hated this and have always struck out against it. But this man has information about something known as the Horn of Poseidon. The Horn of Poseidon was one of many lost treasures to the great vast oceans. Not many knew where it was, and some say it was in the company of a person known as Dren. This person, he is dead, except he has one known living person. We intercepted word that a Talvari ship was possessing this person, and so we laid in wait to ambush this person, when, of course, somebody else had this similar idea. So, here we are.
How did you get in the possession of the Talvari? I'm going to ask that to Doc. How he came to be in the possession of the Talvari.
All right. Well, let me get both of these guys up here real quick. There we go.
Sure.
Well, the story is not a very lively one, I'm afraid. My misfortunes began when I left Dren's ship, and that just happened to be in the kingdom of Talvari. There I laid low as long as I could. But, of course, you know treasure hunters. Insatiable sort. They found where I was working. Tracked me down through an associate of mine who ended up leaving and going to Rough End. Her name was Butterscotch, and we were very close. She'd be the only person who knew my whereabouts. If anyone knew how they found me, it'd be her.
Do we think it might be fair to assume that she was compromised in some sort of way?
Well, she was loyal. That much I can guarantee. She wouldn't have given me up lightly, or for nothing.
And what about this Horn of Poseidon? I asked Doc.
The Horn of Poseidon. One of many treasures that, rest assured, belonged to Dren at the moment of his death. Nothing I participated in taking in any way. Least of all, I know better than to try and steal things from merfolk. They have quite a vicious streak of, well, sending murderers. Excuse me, I prefer the term Mercer Bounty Hunter or Airy. That word, exactly as I have said it.
Yes, and if we're talking about murderers, Ratman, you shot him.
Well, he did stab him.
Yes, but only mildly.
And it was a non-lethal poison? Well, how was I supposed to know that?
Exactly.
It's not like you go around labeling them.
To be fair, it was quite painful.
Oh, you'll be fine, dear.
Right.
So, well, I think what it really comes down to is, what does this Horn of Poseidon do? Because I'm hearing something something end of the world, something something butterscotch, and this Horn of Poseidon seems to be the whole crux of it. So
well,
you, Ratman, tell me, Horn of Poseidon, what's it do? Now, please.
What it does is not so much important as what it is. The Horn of Poseidon is one of many artifacts guarded by the merfolk. Pieces of a creature whose name was lost to time. It's made of fang and bone taken from this creature. The merfolk call it Leviathan. Some say it has the power to summon the great beast. Others say that wielding it imbues your strength with it. Whichever the case, it spells chaos and devastation, but it's only an old wives' tale. And again, if
you were sent by your parents to retrieve this horn of Poseidon.
No. I was sent simply to retrieve the Ratman.
So he could tell you where the location of the Horn of Poseidon was.
Maybe. Who knows? Or if to make sure that he hadn't told anyone before we kill him. I mean, if
you're boring me.
Complicate things.
I am boring you. Well, I'm terribly sorry. I am a prince, not a freaking jester.
Question.
I'll now put the blade of the greatsword right down against his ankle, and I say, "Give me a reason to keep you alive, or not maim you on the ship."
Well, I like him. That's the reason. I prefer him shaped as he currently is.
Swift, you're already on thin ice.
Razorbeak, make a insight bonus. Insight check. Sorry.
Insight check.
Insight check.
Insight. Let me grab that number there and put it in here.
All right. As someone who understands, what's the word? Who understands how people fight. Looking at this individual, he is barely injured. Like, he is not even, like, he's not, like, you're intimidating, in many ways. But he has plenty of fight left in him. Even if you were to cut into him, it would be a very drawn-out fight, filled with lots of blood. And, like, again, like, what more meaning, like, he's still very capable. As he looks at you, pushing down on his ankle, which of course is very bad for him, you can tell that if you do not move your blade, he is likely going to act. It is your choice as to how you wish to act. If you wish to attack him, or if you wish to relinquish.
No, I'm not relinquishing. It's my ship. I'm captain. He's boarded me, and I give him plenty of chance to leave.
Just to clarify, you are on the merchant ships.
Yeah, these are both my ship.
Very well.
In
which case,
I own both ships.
In which case, we are going to make a very. Alastair.
Alastair's gonna sort of just like raise his hand. To be fair, Captain, I feel like any sort of mortal harm that came to this one, if what he says about his title is true, would potentially be a violation of the treaty between the land-dwelling folk and the sea-dwelling folk. I think that might be why he went for the non-lethal option, far as I'm concerned.
I sort of turn my head slightly towards you, and I think about it. And then my blade goes away from his ankle and sticks into the wood of the deck next to his ankle. You have a point, bosun.
Thank you, Captain.
But you will be leaving here today without this rat folk.
He stands very slowly as to not appear threatening, and again sort of dusts off his quill. Swift.
Or what if we take Doc to where he wants to go, and why doesn't the prince come along with us? And then he can be very clear and report back that no harm has been caused by this meeting, because I'm sure it's all a gross, I say looking at the rat man, exaggeration. And I think everything's going to be fine. Wouldn't that be better? And then we'll strengthen our relationship with the prince, and everybody leaves here with their ankles intact. Thoughts? I blink at the fishman.
You may make a persuasion check, and I would like Alastair and Fork to make an insight check.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a 21.
Wow.
Dear God, Janet.
Hey! Yeah, I'm secretly a rogue. I'm sorry.
You did it.
Hey, there you go.
I did a thing.
It's because I rolled at the same time, and it thought it was you that was rolling.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That is 100% why, Rob. That is 100% why. It's a 24 for me.
All right.
Nice.
So, with a 24, you definitely sense an ulterior motive from Swift. But for the most part, it seems like a reasonable suggestion. You seem that there seems to be an ulterior motive from the prince that he seems to be very appealing towards. Fork, you have no idea, but you've learned to trust the instincts of your crew members at this point. But it's very hard to get a beat as to whether or not this guy is trustworthy or not. He definitely shakes as being a pompous, you've dealt with pompous royalty before, like, in terms of like the Telvari, the Tristian, you know what I mean? Like they're a bunch of, this is definitely bred in that world. The Ionis turns and says, "This is not a terrible idea, but I would need my parents' approval first and foremost."
Really? You're going to ask Mummy and Daddy? I'm goading him. I want him to backtrack. I can roll something if you want.
Make an intimidation check. Not because you're...
Oh, but I'm not intimidating at all. I'm a tiny bunny.
You're fine.
But that is a 19.
All right.
I mean...
Not
He says-
intimidating.
Me and Daddy's approval, is it? Come on.
He says...
I'm sure you're more independent than that.
He smiles and says, "Very well. I will accompany you to this rough end place. But, whatever becomes of it, if at any point in time I feel as though the sea and the merfolk empire is at jeopardy, I will act as accordingly as I can."
To be fair, if the sea and the merfolk kingdom are in jeopardy, then it's most likely that the rest of the world is as well. So, the likelihood is we would probably have vested interest in keeping it from ending, because I don't know about the rest of you, but I quite like being alive and my ship intact.
So, what we're saying
Let alone
is...
the world.
What we're saying is, it looks like our goals are aligned for now. I slip my paw into his hand.
he.
Oh, mute wizard.
It's the
tiny
silence
silence
wizard
wizard.
again.
Start swinging my sword at these
Sorry.
Freaking tiny wizards. All right, as you
Sorry,
take
Prince
hold.
Ionis, it happens from time to time.
As you take hold of his hand, we pan away from the deck of the ship, making our way across the vast oceans, over the very low-lying ridges that lead into the very, very busy, bustling site of the beautiful Tortuga-esque city of Rough End. There, a small meadery with large vat of freshly kind of made mulled wine is being served in cups by what looks to be a hooded figure, handing it to several others. Don't worry, he'll be here. I'm sure he will. And we'll be ready for him when he is. The hooded figures each clink their glasses together and drink as we pan down to see the body of a very beautiful fawn who has been slain. And around her neck, there is a glass eye belonging to a ratfolk. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brings us to the end of today's session. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming and joining us. We hope that you guys had a fantastic session. Now, I did notice, but I did not have time to implement it. We did get a $25 donation partway through. It just sort of whizzed past me, and I didn't want to interrupt the pace, so I do apologize. But we will be applying that bonus post-game and next week. So, who gave me that? I need to go and chase them down. Chase them down. We will find you. We will find you. And when we do,
I think
we will
might
apply your
have
bonus.
been. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Exactly. Yes, don't worry. We will. If it is you, then please let me know. Otherwise, I will track you down and send you a message. But in the meantime, thank you, of course, to my wonderful players and to all of the amazing support. It was Miss Bowman. Miss Bowman, yes, Miss Bowman, you have an extra $25 award, which I believe you sent. Let us know what you want to do with it, and I will apply it. But to my wonderful players, please tell us who you are, where you can find you, and of course, share a memorable moment from today's session. Starting with, of course, none other than our delightful Captain Slayer of the Sahagin, and controller of all things wiggly and dangerous.
Well, if you say it like that. I'm Robert Hartley. I'm Robert Hartley GM. You can find me online, twitch.tv/Robert Hartley GM. You can also see me Dungeons and Dragonsing with the Viva La Dirt League crew over on the YouTube channel, Viva La Dirt League D&D. I'm also the writer and showrunner for D&D Logic, a comedy sketch series. That's where you can find me. As for memorable moments, I had a lot of fun with the descriptions of the Binkley, and his thinking about his place in the crew to come. that was probably my favorite bit.
Yeah, he was definitely a last minute ad. I was just like, wouldn't it be funny if some of Janet's food was like animated for some reason?
Sentient food.
Why not?
And yeah, that was great. Thank you. Patrick, who are you? Where can we find you? And what was your most memorable moment, sir?
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Patrick Keefe. I don't know why I had a hard time saying my last name. I am that gray gentleman everywhere on the internet. I'm an actor and a voice actor as well. And you can find me playing some more wonderful pirate adventures over at the Writer's Room 7th Sea, where we play the wonderful TTRPG 7th Sea in a fully produced, with sound effects and everything, podcast, wherever podcasts are found. As far as memorable moments, I did, as a small one, I did love the macaw having their own language, and then like be like, all right, Rob, figure it out. Like, no, and then actually translating it. Of course, it was Janet seducing the hot fish man into being our friend. That was so good. And then having that caught in the rain moment of like, no, I just died in your arms tonight. so perfect. So
I
amazing.
swear, all those freaking nat 20s.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened.
It's insane. I love it. I love it.
Fantastic. Janet, tell everyone who you are and, of course, your memorable moment.
Hi, I'm Janet. I'm the co-founder and CEO of World Anvil, the world-building platform and campaign manager. And in my copious free time, I'm also an RPG writer. I was the lead writer on the Dark Crystal RPG, which has just come out. I've seen copies in the wild. It's been very exciting. So yeah, you can find me at World Anvil wherever the internet exists. We have a YouTube channel. We stream twice a week. You can find us on the Discords, on the Twitters, on the Instagrams. Yeah, so if you message us, it's usually me there. And memorable moment. Oh my god, so many today. So many. I don't wanna repeat one, but just what I loved was okay. So what I loved was the group cast moment. Do you like that's when you see the actors, right? That's when you see the moment, because there was this sort of preposterous love scene over the top of this grisly supernatural battle, and Pat and Rob, you just nailed it. Like the miming that was going on. Like I could tell every single repulsive thing you were doing to those Sahuagin that you were. It was perfection. And that's like when you're on the stage, they say you're always in character even when you're not the spotlight, right? Like you're always on. You are that person, and I saw that today so clearly. It was just an absolute joy to behold how everybody like got in on that preposterous scene and just said yes, and it was beautiful. It was just it made like there was so many wonderful moments, but for me that was just like the highlight of the whole game, was that amazing sort of cast movement towards yes, and I'm here for it. It was amazing. Oh, other I'm sorry, I've got to. Pat, your scene with Doc, chills, all the goosebumps, everything. The music was on point. Dag, the improvisation, I was living for it. I was literally goosebumps. I forgot that I was in a show, and I felt like I was watching a show. Amazing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. No, I agree. It was such a moment. It was really funny too, because he has 90 hit points. And it was a case of like when he got shot, I was like, he's taken 11 damage, and he's like, oh. I'm dying.
Oh no! I have eaten.
And then Rob comes in, and is like, "Oh, I'm getting rid of the corpse now." And he's like, "Wait, I'm not dead. Calm the hell down." Like, wow.
Please fall down. I haven't killed down.
0 to 1.
I was literally about like I had my hero point. And I'm like, I have Revivify. I can like be like hero point. I'll bring him back because I like him at the end of this.
Oh well, that's.
Like,
I had a health potion. I was poised.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Michael. I am the Dead Aussie Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. You find it here pretty much all the time. But I also do a bunch of role-playing games all around the internet. I am the quintessential DM for hire. I've been everywhere. I've played with everyone. Almost everyone. Like, seriously, almost everyone. Like, I've got, like, 3 people left to play with on my, like, bucket list gaming group list. It's nuts. Right?
Oh,
that list
awesome.
was, like 60 people long.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you are all on that list because I love each and every one of you. You guys are all amazing. And today, my memorable moment and my favorite moment was not just the romance scene, was not just the miming and stuff like that, but each and every one of you has just such a vivid idea and a depth to your character that is just there at all times. And it is a true delight to actually get to see, play, and involve myself in that role play. There are times where obviously being in the center of it where, we were improving and stuff like that is great. But, again, all those little pieces that make your characters unique and yours, for me are just those things that just make me just so excited about how you guys are as performers and how these characters are growing and what they're going to do in the inevitable story as it unfolds. Because In my notes, we were supposed to be at Rough End for this whole thing with the sergeant. And I was like, well, I mean, we can do it here. So 2-hour format is a very tight schedule, but at no point in time, because of the way that you guys are, is that ever rushed. It's always juicy and overflowing with talent that I know each and every one of you exude. I'm going to give each of you a little quick compliment here. Janet, you are so easy to improv with, and I think that's because you are one of the closest people in my life as a friend, and it's always a pleasure to get to roleplay and share the stage with you. Pat, as someone new to my life and stuff like that, it's always easy to see the depth of an actor, someone who is trained and who has mastered their craft in a number of different ways, and I felt your story. Like that says a lot. It's easy to say a story, it's easy to show a story, but to feel a story is a next level of talent that is always amazing. Rob, dude, like, I mean, we joke around all the time. We always compete, and we're always doing this stuff. But honestly, dude,
I genuinely thought you were just going to leave it as Rob.
Yeah, I was always, but I can't leave that as
Rob.
But it's Rob. Rob is here. He can occupy a seat in a window.
Rob is here.
No, look, Rob. Look, you know how I feel about you, but more importantly, in moments like today, you challenge me in really positive ways to grow as a GM. I remember maybe 4 or 5 years ago, a character like this would have me stumped, right? Like, it would get me to that point where I'm just like, I don't know how to deal with this really aggressive character who is feeding everything to a kraken. What do I do with this? But you don't ever get to that point where you've stopped me in my tracks, where I can't work with you or I can't do anything with you. You push me to that point where I need to learn, adapt, and grow as a person and a content creator. And that is something I appreciate more from my players than anything else. Because ultimately, why play with some of the best role players in the world if you aren't going to grow from the experience? And I love your character. I really, really do. I have so many really cool ideas that have just been bursting at the seams for this character. Once you hit land! But I'm absolutely adoring everything about today. All right, we've gone over time. Let's leave. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are now going to go and raid our dear friends from Tales of Pesh. Good old Peshy. We love Pesh. So be sure to throw in all of the emotes, all of the love hearts, all of the things. We want him to not be able to see chat for a while. That's our goal. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before we leave, of course, a quick shout out to our lovely sponsors, of course, Hero Forge, for the wonderful artworks that you can see in the token boxes there, as well as the NPCs. We thank, of course, our various supporters, such as 2 Minute Tabletop, Crossroads, and Neutral Party Maps for all the maps that we use, Fantasy Grounds for the wonderful VTT, and of course Sirenscape for the delicious sounds. I would also like to let everyone know that for this weekend, for those of you who are celebrating, to have a very happy Thanksgiving, and also be sure to check out the Black Friday sales on both Hero Forge and World Anvil. World Anvil, I believe, has a 50% off discount. So get on that.
50% off all annuals for only a few days. So if you're interested in World Anvil, then yeah, go check it out. It's free to sign up, and if you like it, you can get a membership 50% off.
Yeah. Again, 50% is huge. So
did you say it was free shipping for people, any gifts from Robert Hartley's merch store as well?
I did. I did totally say that. It is.
I heard that there was free shipping from Robert Hartley's merch store. Did that? You don't need to mention that.
I did. Because I absolutely knew that because you know, of course, Robert Hartley keeps me updated with all of the promos that he does for promotion. And we're gone. We're out of here. But the raid's gone. But
talk too much.
But for those people who are watching this on YouTube, yeah, go check out Robert Hartley and his merchant store, because he's got some amazing stuff there. Actually, I love Rob's logo. I'm really jealous. My logo is this dumbass looking skull, and
it's awesome. It's got Dead Aussie and Gamer in it.
It does. It has Dead. It's the Dead Aussie Gamer. It's like all in one. That's what I was thinking. But it's like it's just yours is a D20.
The things.
Yeah, it's good things. All right,
it does,
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you very much. And as always, from us to you, till the next time we meet, game hard or die trying. Bye, everyone.